Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about different types of real estate transactions, and there might be more than you think. I'm Tiffany Weber. I'm a real estate attorney in Mooresville, North Carolina, and we love putting out videos just like this one so that you can learn more about real estate. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel. The first type of real estate transaction that we're going to talk about is the one that is most common and the one that most people will experience during their lifetime, and that is a residential real estate purchase. So that is when someone is buying a residential property to use as their residence. So they're not buying it for a business or for any other reason than to live there. The next type of real estate transaction is really similar to a residential purchase, but it's real estate investment or holding investment property, being a landlord. So you're buying a residential property, but rather than living there, you're going to rent it to another person so that they can use it as their primary residence. Now, for all intents and purposes, what the attorney does is really similar in the process of closing on that transaction. There are a few little extra things that happen when you're buying a rental property, but for the most part, it's very, very similar to if you're buying your home. The next type of transaction is an assignment contract, which most people just call this wholesaling. But what's really happening is a person is identifying a property that they want to buy, they're getting under contract on it for a certain price, but then they're going to find the end buyer, so the final buyer, and then selling it to that final buyer at an increased price. Now, those are really tricky in North Carolina. There are a lot of disclosures that have to be made. So you want to make sure when you're closing on that type of property that you work with an attorney that knows the rules and follows them carefully. The next type of real estate transaction is probably one that you've seen if you watch a lot of HGTV, and that is flipping or rehabbing a project. So you find a residential property and maybe it's not in such good shape, but you are buying the property, you're getting a loan, whether from a private investor or from an institutional lender, to be able to get it up to code, make it look nice, and then sell it eventually to someone that's going to use it for their primary residence. Another type of real estate transaction is when you're purchasing vacant land. Sometimes this is for residential use because you've maybe found the perfect spot, got a great view, and you want to put your home on it someday. But there are also times when a developer might want to purchase vacant land to in turn make it into a subdivision or put multiple homes on one property, but they have to subdivide it and do a lot of extra stuff to make that happen. Another type of real estate transaction are commercial purchases. For example, if you buy a residential property and you're going to be a landlord, that's actually also a commercial transaction because you're going to make money off of that, hopefully. So any type of transaction that is income producing, you're going to be using it for a business purpose, that is also a commercial transaction. And while there are many, many more types of transactions, we'll close it out on this one. And this is when you're buying a new construction home. So just like in a residential purchase, when you're buying it from someone else who has already lived in the home, you still have to close on the property when you buy it directly from your builder. Even when you've overseen all of the steps of construction, at the end of that process, you are going to close on the home and take title to the property. As you can see, there are lots and lots of types of real estate transactions. And you might not know that real estate attorneys often work on many of those types. Maybe not all, but many of those types. Like at our office, we work on all of those types of transactions. I know most people think of closings as your simple residential real estate closing, but hopefully you learned from this video that there are many more types than just residential real estate closings. And our firm handles all of the ones mentioned in this video, plus many more. So if you ever need help and you're in North Carolina near us in Mooresville, North Carolina, give us a call. We'd be happy to help you. Once again, I'm Tiffany Weber, Thomas & Weber, and we will see you in the next video.